Namaskar friends, we want to discuss some elementary topics of decision theory. Name of the chapter is also elementary decision theory. The middle word you can observe is decision. That means you want to study the science of making decisions from statistics. In your routine life, I think you are taking decisions daily related to whether you want to go to school or not, whether you want to come to college or not, whether to meet somebody or not. So many decisions. But now we are adding science of making decisions. When we require decision making, so if somebody asks you when you require decision, so I think you will answer that when you have different types of options, then only you will require decision making. So to take decisions, you should have various options available to you. These options are actually known as acts. These options are known as acts. So suppose I in this written example, suppose I want to make decision. Suppose I am starting a new business, and for my business I am thinking about the business of cold drinks or business of hot coffee. Out of these two, I want to select any one. Out of these two, I want to select any one. So I have two different options to start my business. These options are acts. So these options are known as acts. And in statistical decision theory, these acts are generally denoted by A1, A2, and so on up to say AN. After selecting the option, there are various types of events. I don't know in advance whether the weather will be cold or hot. I certainly does not have any idea about future event. If weather is cold, I can have different types of profits. If weather is hot, in that case also I can have different types of profits. So these two things are known as future events, and in statistical decision theory they are known as state of nature. So states of nature are the things which are not under control of the decision maker. This weather is not in our hand. I cannot say in advance that next month will be cold or hot. So these are the factors which are not under control of the decision maker, and therefore they are known as events or state of nature. These events are generally in decision theory denoted by E1, E2, and so on up to you can say EM. So in this example, in this particular illustration, I have two different acts, A1 and A2, and I have two different events. I can say them E1 and E2. Now one more part. Here 70 is written, and what this 70 means. If I select business related to cold drinks, and if weather is cold, then I am going to get profit of rupees 70. If I select business of cold drink, and if weather is hot, in that case I will get profit of rupees 90. So these are actually my expected profits. If my selection is hot coffee and there is cold weather, I will get expected profit of rupees 110. And if my business is related to hot coffee and weather is also hot, then I am getting profit of rupees 100. So these four numbers 70, 90, 110, 100 are actually my profits, or in some cases maybe losses, by selecting various acts in connection to various events. So they are known as payoff. And this complete table is known as payoff matrix. So this complete table is actually known as payoff matrix. So in any decision problem, you have three different elements. First is acts, second is events, and third is payoff matrix. What is our aim? Out of all these acts or all these options, we want to find out best option by using some techniques. So from the all acts, we want to find out best act. Now one more thing. We know that future is uncertain, but decision making problem can be studied in three types of different situations. So now we are going to discuss the situations in which we can take decision. Which type of situations can arise? The first situation is known as decision making under certainty. Decision making under certainty. Here the word is certainty. That means you are certain about the future event. In reality, it is may not possible, but suppose, assume that you know that in very much advance that the weather is going to remain hot. Suppose in advance you know that the future weather is going to remain hot. So you are certain about future event. Suppose in advance you know that this event is going to occur. In that case, your decision making becomes very much easy, because now you are certain about this thing. If you are certain that the weather is going to be hot, then obviously your decision will be to select hot coffee only, because in advance you know the future. So in that case, your decision making process does not require any complicated techniques. But in real life, you know that this type of situation is not possible. So in reality, future events are never certain. So if you are not certain about future, then this is known as decision making under uncertainty. So in uncertainty, you are completely unaware about your future events. You don't have a single percent idea whether about the weather condition, whether it will be cold or hot. You does not have a single percent idea. about the future or about the state of nature or about events. In this type of condition, your decision making process becomes complex. In this chapter, we are going to discuss some Maximin, Maximax, Laplace, Hurwitz, etc. principles so that we can make valid decisions in case of uncertainty also. So we are going to learn some decision making concepts or criterions related to decision making under uncertainty in this chapter later on. The third situation in decision making is known as decision making under risk. In modern times, our meteorological department generally predicts about weather conditions. Suppose you have some probabilistic idea that probability of cold weather is 0.3 and probability of hot weather is 0.7. You know that total probability is always 1. So if I add 0.3 with 0.7, this total probability will be 1. But now in this case, I have at least some idea about the future event, because meteorological department is predicting that probability of cold weather is 0.3 and hot weather is 0.7. So I have now some sort of certainty about the weather condition. I am not 100% certain in just as in case of decision making under certainty, but I have now somewhat idea about the future situation. In that case also there is a risk, because probability does not mean certainty, and therefore in this case also there is a risk in decision making. In this chapter we are also going to discuss some ideas related to decision making under risk. In decision making under risk, we are going to study expected monetary value and expected opportunity loss, etc. some criterions. So this is the fundamental concepts. These are the fundamental concepts related to decision theory. In next few lectures, we will discuss decision making under uncertainty as well as decision making under risk. Thanks for watching and keep watching these videos. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you.